right, so Harold, I wanted to talk to you because you're the first person I thought when I was watching what we've done or what you're doing with your dog, you're the first person that came to mind of somebody who really took to heart the training. So I just wanted to kind of ask you, like, tell me a little bit about how you started your training, how you got Rio, and all that stuff.
Well, I used to breed Mastiffs years ago, Cane Corsos, like in the early 90s.
Uh-huh.
And my wife had a boxer. And we kind of wanted to combine the two different breeds. So we just started looking online. And she wanted an athletic, more leaner dog, not as big as the Mastiff. So we searched around and came across the Alano Español. And did some research on them and really liked what we saw and decided upon that breed. And that's when we searched for a good breeder, and we found one in Poland. So we did some research on that, and he ended up having a pair in the U.S. and up north. So we contacted a guy, had puppies, and got Rio.
Okay.
And that's how we came across the breed and got the breed. So.
I've never seen, it's a very rare breed.
Yeah, very
you don't
rare.
see it. You don't see it at all. I mean, amazing breed.
Yeah.
People probably always think it's some kind of a boxer pit bull mix or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's not.
No,
Okay.
purebred Alano, and that's how we got him. And we once we figured out the dog we were going to get, we wanted to know that we wanted to get him trained. So we started looking for trainers, not thinking of doing it ourselves, but more or less getting the trainer and working with the trainer. And we came across Robert Cabral.
Okay.
And started watching some videos online and stuff, and figured that we could probably do it ourselves, with a little help. So,
like, what were the first things you taught him before you ever contacted me?
just making things fun.
Okay.
Just doing it as play, and seeing the things that he did well, and try to elaborate on that, from the beginning, and then progress from there. So.
And you started him really early.
Yeah.
Like 8 weeks, 9 weeks.
Maybe 8, 9, 10 weeks, maybe.
And when did you first contact me? Because I kind of forgot. He was pretty young still, but he was a handful.
What he was?
Yeah, we were already following you.
Okay.
Before we got him.
So you started following me before. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
a lot of people do that, right?
Yeah, because we were trying to get prepared.
Yeah.
Find a trainer. Just once we get this puppy, we want to find a trainer and be able to take it to him. So we started looking, before we got the dog, and did it from there. But
Did you have trouble in the beginning?
oh yeah.
So tell me, let's talk about
Well, Rio was a high drive, high energy dog. He's a working breed, so we with his high drive, we tried to figure out how the best way to channel that energy instead of saying no all the time, because he's constantly getting into things and getting into trouble. So we wanted to fix that.
Yep.
So that's when we started looking at your videos and try to find out the way to correct that. And the first thing we learned from you is not always saying no, but trying to give him something to do.
Something to do as opposed to what not to do.
Exactly.
Right, okay,
not coming down too hard on him.
Yeah, especially a puppy.
Yeah. So.
Especially a puppy like him, who's got so much drive, and then all this no's.
Yeah, we didn't want to break that energy.
Break the spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, just give him something to do and not coming down too hard on him. So.
I've seen a lot of the stuff, like I follow you on Instagram back, and I see all the stuff you guys are doing with them, and it's just like super cool because you take stuff that I'll post, and then 3 weeks later, you're doing it. Now we did, I think maybe, not many, like 4 sessions together, so 3, 4 sessions, that's it.
Yeah.
And out of that, you were able to extrapolate and watching the videos and the members, stuff like that, to what you're doing now? You're not like cheating on me on the back, like it's some dog college or something.
Like in the beginning we were using treats, and then when we saw you and you saw his drive, you said maybe toys would be better, and that was definitely the better thing to go with as far as using to train him. So we started just strictly using toys, but we'll use treats in the beginning just to teach him something new. But once he gets it, and it's just basically using the toy with the drive in order to teach him, whatever it is that we're trying to teach him.
What's been the most fun thing that you taught him?
I think tug has been one of the fun things because it's more interacting with him. And I don't know, what do you say, Cheri?
What's the most fun thing that he's learned?
That he stays with us. We can go hiking, and he stays with
Yeah, recall and yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you about that, right? Because people always say, like, they'll see me do an e-collar lesson, and nobody's really ever watched, with the exception of Goofy, but then they have, from beginning to end. Like, nobody saw the early beginnings of Goofy, but they see where he is now with his e-collar. You started on an e-collar. You never had an e-collar on him before you and I did our couple sessions. And in fact,
Right.
that one video, I never even posted it yet. The one when we did the e-collar with Cheri. So when you started, what were your thoughts? Were you apprehensive, or was it something you were looking forward to?
Oh, we're looking forward to it. You know, like you said, when we first got the e-collar, we just put it on him for the first 4 or 5 days, never turned it on, just let him get used to wearing it. And then the first time we ever turned it on was the session we did with you with the
Okay.
e-collar. And then once we initially started doing it, we turned it on and letting them use it, figured out the best way to go about using it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a blessing ever since. So.
Like, in what way? Like, because we're at a beautiful park here in LA, and he's been running around off leash training with you guys, and just, he doesn't even need a leash.
Yeah, we would just bring him up here and let him go hiking and, and just take him off leash and have the e-collar on and let him go away and call him back, you know, and if he didn't immediately call, we just bump it a little bit, nothing too harsh.
Right.
And then he got it. I mean, it didn't take very long at all.
So you use the method of reinforcement and then reward and then correction back to reward.
At first we used the long line, of course, because you didn't want to let him go too far without some kind of contact. But yeah, once he initially got it with the long line, then we would just take him off and let him go, and then call him back, and he would come back. And so yeah, the e-collar was definitely a good tool to have, as long as you don't overdo it.
Right.
You know, you don't want to make everything about the e-collar.
Yeah, and you guys were just saying too, when I got here, you said, Cheri said, I hardly ever use it. You know, and that's the magic of the tool.
Yep.
Is, you know, we can. Yeah, you almost forget. You forget to take the remote. Yeah, I know. Because once the dog understands, you're conditioning the dog to not need it and to reinforce that. So I mean, that's really good. What other stuff would you give, like, as an advice from following the videos and following the lessons, to somebody, like to somebody who's going to start training? Like, what advice would you give? Because you've done a great job with your dog, and you've done it for how long? When was the first time we ever talked to her? Like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so 18 months, and you train all the time.
Every day. My wife would train in the mornings when I'm at work, and then we'll give him a break and do whatever. And then in the evenings when I come home, I'll take him for a walk, bring him home, and then we'll do some training and playing.
Okay.
And you know, it's a routine. So once you get the routine down, then you know he looks forward to it.
And you work full time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's not like you're, you know.
No, you can't. I don't come home and just sit around. I mean, I'll take a break when I first get home. But he knows, you know, it's go for the walk and then come back home, and then we'll do some training.
But what I'm saying is, you have a full-time job, and you're still able to train a very high drive, very dominant dog in a really efficient way.
Yep.
How many hours a day do you train them?
I would say she does 15, 20 minutes, and I'll do 15, 20 minutes.
Which is exactly what I say, right? 15 minutes twice a day, and that's it.
Don't overdo it. Don't overwork them, because you want to keep it fun.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. Yeah. Someday.
That's training, right?
Right.
Yeah. You got a really nice dog.
Work on recall. Go hiking, and when he gets so far away, bring him back down. Call him back down to you, and then he starts looking for you. You know, he won't never go too far away. Without recognizing you being around. So.
And you're doing stuff, you're doing retrieves, you're doing healing, you're doing leg weaving, you're doing, did I see you doing a go out too?
Yeah.
At the fence line, you're doing go outs, you're doing all kinds of different stuff with him.
Yeah.
And it's not a breed that you would normally see in obedience competitions, or a type, even the type of dog you'd see. He's a really high driving dog.
We learn a lot from the chats, the Ask Me Anything questions. Because it might be something we're missing that somebody asked you that we'll pick up on. So, and the podcast, we learn a lot. We watch those over and over again. So, you know, it might be something we missed. So we always go back and learn something new.